Welcome to the Section 247 show, a Sports Talk Philly partner. As always, presented, Michael, by Michael's Glass Company, serving the Philadelphia tri-state area since 1978. 215-338-3293. They are essential. They are still open. So if some Nimrod comes and destroys your window, they're there. They can fix it for you. Sneeze guards no more. That's not going to happen because, people aren't going to restaurants. Scrolling on the bottom, give them a check out there. And Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I am okay, I think. I'm not really sure.
You think you're okay?
I think I'm okay.
I think I hit the paranoid. What do you got tonight, first off? Looks like that's a Miller High Life aluminum can.
Good old Miller Lite in a nice
or Miller Lite aluminum bottle. That is my golf course beer. You know why? Because it's a bigger amount.
And it's fantastic. It's a nice session kind of drinking thing. Oh, you have the champagne. I should have been a little bit classy.
They should put they should put this into those.
Listen, we're getting a lot of connections here with the beer people. You should suggest that.
We should. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Do you want to do your rundown here?
Yes.
I'm going to leave this to you because it's been a hell of a week. Do the rundown first, and you were going to say something, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, sure. So rundown tonight for everybody that's joining us is I want to know what is going on with the Lipinski household. How is the homeschooling going? Are these kids going to be smarter when they eventually get back to school, which will probably be not until September? We're going to talk about Tiger King, and we're going to talk about Love is Blind, two things that I mowed through from probably Thursday till this morning. Crazy shows, and we'll talk about them. I know you've watched them. I know you did your homework on them, so I can't wait to hear what your opinion is. And I can't wait to hear
we talk about this? Saved by the Bell Hawaiian Style.
We were watching this before Nico's bath, and then I guess she picked up right where we left off. Okay. We need a show. This is what we've come to. We're watching Saved by the Bell Hawaiian Style, so we need a show. So we're going to ask the crowd out there for some comments on what to watch next. What are we watching sports wise, since it's all done now? There's no sports what there is going on. So what are you watching? What are the people watching, just to keep sports alive so you don't feel empty inside? Also, the Michael Jordan documentary is going to be released a little earlier because of all this mess. We'll talk about that. And then we're also going to be looking at WrestleMania. You were on a rampage this weekend saying that it shouldn't happen. And here we are now. And we're going to talk about your opinions on it. And also Roman Reigns back. Yeah, I know we talked about last week.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm getting called out by people. I'm getting called knuckleheads. People are giving me a hard time about my hair and what I'm talking about. So,
Oh, you did it.
We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it.
Holy shit. We're going to jump right into this. All right. So we'll get the Lipinski family comment. Everybody that's checking in so far. Reveal. Lizzie, Roman, look. Roman, he buzzed it for you. Look how fast he just did it for you, man. Greg Davis, thanks for checking in, man. Will, we saw you pop up in there. Good evening. How you doing? We love the comments. And since we're on that, in order to see your comments that we're seeing right here, we got a lot of them going on right now. I'm sure we're going to have more as they come in. Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Got to be in the Section 247 show feed in order for us to see your comments. We want you to comment. I need some comments because I'm going to need TV shows later. In order to do that, you got to be in the show feed. So we appreciate that. Please still like and share. I have flashbacks to the head. So
yeah,
all right.
Dude, it's awful, but I had to do what I had to do. I mean,
we talked about this before we went live last week, which was, we can't get a haircut. So what's up, Zach? I'm thinking about shaving my head. You said it too. You actually went ahead and did it. I was told I'm not allowed to do it just yet. God damn, that is what? Damn,
it's weird looking.
It is weird looking.
It's weird,
like a monkey shot off into space. Fight Club, by the way. Sorry, so you did it. When did you do it? When did you liberate yourself here?
About 38 minutes ago.
All right, so right before you came on.
I just couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm my hairdresser is, she's on here. She's angry. I am literally one of those. I need a haircut every 3 weeks. 4 weeks is a long time.
Too. So me too. I'm going. This is week 4 right now that we're in. I literally got it done right before all this went into effect.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, it's your sister's calling you ugly.
That's fine.
I wouldn't condone it, but it's your sister's doing it. So all right.
It's weird. Look, I can admit that I look like a goofy bastard as it is. And then you factor in the shaved head, it's even worse. I can't deal with long hair.
So should I do it? I mean, my wife and I talked about this Sunday on the couch. Yes. She said that let me try to cut your hair first. If I mess it up, we'll buzz it then. So bet you'll never cancel me last minute anymore. Well, so how long is this going to grow back now?
Well, so we have we got,
oh, wow, you look like the guy from Stir Crazy.
Going Stir Crazy, Dexter. Listen, we have another 30 days at minimum until stuff starts opening up. So you figure that's probably closer to 45. It grows out. Next thing you know, I get a haircut. I'm trying to get the beard thing going too. I'm gonna have to go to a beard guy.
I mean, look, you keep on. If you go with the beard with the shaved head, you are really gonna look like a white supremacist. So maybe
I'm a Pollock. They don't like me either.
Well, so
I agree with Roman. Listen, go for it. You're sitting on the couch for a month. Put some sweatpants on. Buzz your head.
I'm just afraid of what is underneath this thing. I know there's bumps on it. I mean, I know for a fact my mother dropped me at least 3 or 4 times. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I will. I'll let my wife cut it. What's the worst going to happen? Then she's got to buzz my head. And the thing is, I just hate the sides. I'll let the top grow. I'll let the top grow, get a little LA Looks gel, slick it back. It'll be fine.
LA Looks. I think.
Don't grow the Dick landing strip under.
Well, none of us can. I can't. This is puberty. This is 38 years here. So, but look, here's the thing. I can't deal with the long hair. I had to buzz the head. What's it matter? I'm going to be wearing, this is how I'm going to work for the next however long.
I didn't hear it broke up there. Well, you can't deal with the long hair. What?
So this is how I'm going to work for the next month. Nobody's going to see it. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. I don't like the sides because my hair grows out. My hair doesn't flop down like Brad Pitt that I could just go like that and it just goes into this great position every morning when he wakes up. Mine grows just all over the place. So I think I'll let my wife do it first, and then we'll see what happens. Lipinski. So yeah, you're gonna have to lotion that thing, man. You're gonna have to moisturize it or something.
I know. I look. It is what it is. I had to do what I had to do.
Well, I commend you for it, man. I think it's great that you did it. I've been saying I want to do that since I was 14 years old. I don't know if I would do it as much as you did it, though. I think I would just do it like a number 1 just everywhere and go from there. Like you straight up. Looks like you bicked that thing, man.
It's a 0. Went straight up 0.
Yes, Nicole, you are right. I do get a Jufro. So, yeah. All right. I commend you, man. That's great. Don't get a Clooney, the type for short bangs.
That was like 1997.
So you used to get your hair buzzed all the time, though, right?
No, I had the surfer cut, man. I always had.
Right. You did.
I did.
Yeah.
I buzzed it once. It didn't go very well. I didn't like it. I got really sunburned on the top of the head and it was peeling. It was awful. And that was that popped up in my time hop. That was probably about 10 years ago or so.
Do you still? So why don't you post that?
I forgot to.
You should. You should do like a comparison. Let's see how old you look.
I'll have to find it. That involves social media. I'm not sure how that works.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Between 8 and 5.
Correct. Between 8 and 5, no one's posting. So
we are in week number 3. I think this is what, day 15 or day 16 of our social distancing, a bowl cut. That's cool. I mean, I wish my hair would flop down. I would do a bowl cut in a second. I would definitely do one. So day 15 or 16, whatever it is, we're in week 3. Mm-hmm. How is the Lipinski household doing?
We're ready to kill each other. So we're at the point now where we're ready to hurt people. And look, it is what it is. It's just,
so when you say we're ready to hurt people, who is ready to hurt people? Are we talking your kids are ready to hurt people?
I think my kids are ready to hurt people. I think they're losing their mind here. Michael's okay. The oldest is okay because he found video games again. So we're all right there. Okay. Holden, not so much.
So they actually miss school.
They do miss school. They miss school a lot, which I'm glad. They miss their friends. I get that. I couldn't imagine a scenario. You're seeing your friends on the computer and all that stuff, and you don't get to go hang out with them.
So your sister Erin just chimed in, King of the Mushroom Cut. I remember that now. That was great.
I got in trouble once.
I think I actually have a Pop Warner picture with your mushroom cut.
I'm sure you do. Picture. I have a picture of you and I. You giving me a kiss on the cheek with my mushroom cut.
Yeah. But all right, so you're ready to kill each other. How is the homeschooling go though? Like all seriousness. Like how is it going? Are they paying attention to you guys? Are they learning anything, or is it just like playing video games all day long?
No, so luckily it's very structured. My son goes to a Catholic school in the area, and I give them a ton of credit on how they're handling this thing. From 8 until 11-ish, they're online. They're learning class similar to how we're talking right now. And it's fantastic. They're interacting. The teachers are there. And then there's just enough homework to get them to like 12:30-ish. And maybe a little bit longer, which is perfect. So you're looking like an 8 to 1 kind of thing. You have lunch and you call it a day. It's going well. It's going fine. I think they're doing a tremendous job.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because from what it sounds like, it doesn't look like the kids are going to go back to school.
I mean,
it's April 30th now, but I mean, let's face it. After let's just say April 30th, everything's all good. You get all clear on May 1st. Those schools still have to be cleaned, and the cleaning is going to take a while too. So I don't think your kids are going back. I know. I'm fine. Like I'm fine because I work from home anyway. So this really it just sucks because I can't go to like 3 different supermarkets to get the right cut of meat or right butcher shop to get the right cut of meat that I want. That's what sucks for us. And then we can't go out. We can't, do a Target run when we feel like it. I think for me though, the hypochondriac, paranoid person that I am, I've stayed away from the news. This Sunday, I wound up watching the news and it got in my head. And I woke up Monday morning thinking that we are going to get the coronavirus just by sitting in the house. Granted, I go out maybe once or twice to go food shopping. I'm the one that's going. My wife doesn't go. I go. I do everything. I, do all that. So she doesn't have to go out. But I got paranoid. I mean, we've talked about this. This isn't ending anytime soon. But when they said everybody's in until at least April 30th, it kind of takes a little wind out of your sails. Because it's like the biggest untold secret there is that this is the way it's going to be. But yeah, man, the hypochondriac that I am, my one nostril was clogged on Sunday night before I went
you thought you were dying.
I thought I was going to die. So,
well, look, I'm in the midst of seasonal allergies too. So, allergies, you get a little bit of a scratch to the throat. You're sneezing a little bit. I'm Googling left and right coronavirus symptoms.
Yeah, I mean, let me ask you this. Are you like, when you get your mail, are you wiping that off? Are you still getting any Amazon packages? Do you wipe them off?
No.
All right. I'm not doing that either. Well, after I get the mail, I do wash my hands, but
I wash my hands all the time as it is. I've always been a hand sanitizer guy. Like I see these people now, you got to use hand sanitizer and you got to wipe the carts at the supermarket. Well, what exactly have you been doing? I mean, all along, that's what I do. Don't hold the door open. Well, I kick the doors open all the time anyway. I
always use my elbow or my forearm to open a door.
Right. So, I mean, that much isn't changing. But I have turned off the news. I have stopped watching the news. I've stopped watching the numbers. I can't deal with it anymore because it's just getting goddamn out of control.
Well, the whole thing too is, the numbers are going to rise.
Of course,
but yet they keep on rising, and it gets me more nervous. Even though that I've told my wife, the numbers are going to rise. People are getting tested now. the same, like we have the most cases now in the world. Well, yeah, because we have the ability to test more people than the rest of the world does.
And we're not going to lie about it in theory.
Yeah. And that, exactly. And that, or we're not going to kidnap any medical personnel like in China, like they did there, and they can't find the person that said, hey, look, this is bad. But still, I still get.
He's in the wet market.
Yeah.
In Wuhan.
Yeah. Yeah. But it got to me Sunday night. So no more news from me. Not doing anymore. I'm just gonna listen to the weather in the morning and then turn it off, because it's the same song, same dance every day. And just try not to be paranoid or a hypochondriac like I normally am. But so who we got? No shoes, wash your hands. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. Hand sanitizer is only going to take it so far. He's with Carol Baskin's husband.
I don't even know what,
all right, so
that means. So let's go.
So all right, so so let's get into that. And Dan Cooper, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining in.
Hey, Dan.
Said the Scheme on HBO. All right, cool. That's what I'm going to get to in a little bit. So, all right, let's get to it, man. The Tiger King. Let's do it. Now, I watched episode 1 right before
the Tiger King. The Tiger King to me is like a New Japan wrestler circa 1997. I'm not talking Tiger Mask. He's different than Tiger Mask. By the way, Michael, do you want to make the station announcement, or do you want me?
No, go ahead. You do it.
So be sure to check in this week with a Work in Progress Wrestling podcast, where you have Michael Watkins and the Doc. We're going to be talking WrestleMania. We might even sing. I don't know. Continue.
Carol Baskin. And that will be dropping on Saturday. I talked to Brent Piles right before we came on. I asked him, when's it coming on? He said Saturday. So we're going to record it this week, and then it'll be out, and we'll let you know when it comes out as well. So
the Tiger King's not wrestling.
So the Tiger King is not wrestling. What's up, Gags? How you doing, dude? The Tiger King, and we'll pick up where we left off last week. I just watched
Kyle. Jeez, way to ruin the fun.
I just watched episode 1 before we came down here to start our show last week. So I've watched the other 6 prior to that. The Tiger King is a crazy man in Oklahoma that has a lot of tigers, over 227 at one point, as well as other animals as well in the zoo. And then his arch rival is Carol Baskins, who is located in Florida, in Tampa, and she has a cat sanctuary, the complete opposite, supposedly, of what this Tiger King does. So, needless to say, this is just basically
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
There's 2 people.
There's actually 3. There's another one. His name's Doc Antel, that's in South Carolina, and he's got a sanctuary too, and he's got like 4 wives and like 6 girlfriends and all that.
Did they bring in the woman from Jackson, New Jersey with the tigers?
No. There was. Listen, it did not go above. It didn't go above South Carolina. It just went straight across the United States, not going above anywhere. So Nicole wants the free Joe Exotic. I don't want to think I should go that far with that one. Elizabeth and Zach live near the ones in Tampa where Carol Baskins goes. Well, so anyway, yeah, Joe Exotic.
So Zach chimes in here, right? Just think of the Florida man. So I know what the Florida man is. Google Florida man. Continue. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Continue. By the way, we are a sports talk show at some point here.
Listen, like Dan said just a couple comments ago, there is no sports on right now. So this is the stuff we have to entertain with this.
Tell the people how to find us.
So you can find us on either YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook when we do our live show. Please follow us. Please like, please share. But in order for us to see your comments, and we want to see them, we have a lot of them coming in tonight. We can only see them if you're on the Section 247 show feeds on those 3 different social media platforms. So Tiger King, Joe Exotic, out in Oklahoma, crazy guy with a blonde mullet, has 2 husbands. All right.
Okay.
All right. 2 husbands that are straight. That are straight, by the way.
Well, how does that work? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
As this story unfolds, and this is how crazy it is, as the story unfolds, it turns out that these guys were straight the whole time, but he was giving them guns, he was giving them cars, showering them with these gifts, and he would take care of the tigers, but they would stay with him because they were getting all this stuff, and it turns out that the one husband got the receptionist pregnant, and they started a relationship together, and he was done with him. Shaq, John Suggs checks in on Facebook. Shaq has been there multiple times and was seen photographed there, to the point where just yesterday he says that he hasn't been there in a while, and he was never friends with them. It was just
where is there?
Joe Exotic at the I think it was the Greater Wynwood Zoo, it was called.
Okay.
So anyway, he's got two husbands, Joe Exotic. His arch rival is Carol Baskins, who is an animal rights activist. I'll do that in air quotes because it seems like Carol Baskins is a whole lot the same stuff that Joe Exotic does. But it's a shit show train wreck. That's exactly what it is. So anyway, these two are they butt heads constantly. Joe Exotic has a TV show, just like how we are talking to each other right now, where all he does is just bash Carol Baskins and wants to kill her. He's got dummies set up behind her, takes a gun and shoots it in the head and said, "That's going to be you." Holds up a jar that has a horse penis in it and said, "I'm not going to be satisfied until your head is in this jar, Carol Baskins."
Wasn't there a Carol Baskins that was a movie character?
I don't know.
Okay.
You might be thinking of Josh Baskin from Big.
Big. That's it. All right, continue.
So, Carol Baskin.
His mother's name's Carol, I think. Continue. I'm listening.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Go ahead.
So, anyway, Carol Baskin.
Zoltar.
Carol Baskin supposedly has killed her husband and fed him to the tigers that she had on her property back in 1997. Joe Exotic, all he does is try to exploit this to the part where the Hillsborough County Police in Florida have now reopened the case to try to find where her husband mysteriously disappeared to. From the way the documentary laid out, and I know from Making a Murderer, I thought Stephen Avery was innocent after one point. It almost seems like Carol Baskin did all but kill. There's like no emotion whatsoever with this whole thing. They interview the missing husband's daughters and ex-wife prior to him marrying Carol Baskin. And they even think she did it, but they can't, but they have to keep their mouth shut because she was controlling all his money. He was a millionaire, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Had to back up a little bit there. Now we'll go fast forward. How you feeling so far?
I'm following along. Continue.
It just winds up to be this crazy story of meth, because they all do meth in Oklahoma.
Of course they do.
I'm not even touching on Doc Antel and his 4 wives living on a compound in his zoo in South Carolina, because he wasn't really part of the story. He's sort of like the middleman that would bash Carol Baskin as well, and kind of was friends with Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic runs for governor of Oklahoma in 2016. Wanted to run for president in 2020. I say wanted to because Joe Exotic is currently in jail for for trying to do a murder for hire to kill Carol Baskin. And he got 19% of the vote. Exactly. He's just a crazy, crazy dude. I really think you should go back and watch this. At least watch the first 2 episodes. The first episode is just like a background of who all these 3 people are, and then the second one, it gets into it. And I guarantee you'll watch all 7.
So people were fed the tigers.
So the story is that this Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Mrs. Baskin. This is bullshit. She had a name.
So
the Zoltar machine.
So supposedly she kills her husband because he was going to leave her and he had millions.
Mm-hmm.
And he even filed a restraining order that never got filed, that he gave to his assistant and said, if anything ever happens to me, give this to the police. So they gave it to the police. You vote for Joe. Yeah. Why not?
We don't talk politics on this program, but
he ran for governor. I mean, so if you lived,
can't go wrong at this point.
So she shoots him. She kills him, and there's 2 stories. Either 1, she fed him to the tigers, so there's no evidence, or 2, he is buried in their oil septic tank or oil tank that's on their property. to the point where the funniest part.
Someone's either been fed to a tiger or shoved in a septic tank.
Wait, this Joe Exotic on TV on his own show had a picture of Carol Baskin and this missing husband with his like, you know how like the picture will talk for you sometime, they do that.
Yeah.
And said, Carol, it's a voice from the past, get me out of this fucking tank. And it's just him talking. It's a wedding. The funniest thing, craziest thing I've ever seen.
Don't forget gators getting burned, sardine oil. John is chiming in, talk about essential worker, girl lost her arm. What is?
All right. So let's talk about, where was the sardine oil? Who said that?
I believe that was Aaron.
So all right. So Aaron, sardine oil is the whole thing. Because Joe Exotic one time, his work, supposedly he thinks his worker set him up by having a tiger nip at his leg.
Go ahead, continue.
So he says he accused the people of putting cologne. So cologne, Carol Baskin refutes and says cologne would not do that. Somebody had to put sardine oil on his shoes. Going back to what John said, girl lost her arm. She was trying to feed the tiger through a cage on Joe Exotic Zoo, and the tiger ripped her arm off. She only missed 7 days of work and was back into work with a missing arm the next day working.
That's awful. That's messed up.
Oh, I forgot to say the fact that Joe Exotic, they get paid $120 a week, and that's it.
Mike L is a Carol Baskin's apologist. I don't even know what that means. I just want to know she's the lady from Big Cliffside Park.
No, she's not. What I want to know is, I'll ask, since I know you didn't watch it, what does everybody think of Jeff Lowe? Because I think he's the biggest low-life scumbag there is. And you can't make it up, Dan. You're absolutely right. You can't make this up. It's just total nuts. There's no way you could script this. Meth is a hell of a drug. It is. Oh, expired Walmart meat. Beautiful. I love this. Joe Exotic, they would go to they would go to Walmart. They had Steve
chimed in that he's watching this. He's chimed in on the group that he's his family is in the room, so he's watching this with the sound off like a weirdo. Don't worry, Steve. We're kid and we're family friendly.
And I'm trying not to curse. I just cursed one time, and that's all I'm going to do. So anyway, everything's coming in. Jeff Lowe is a turd. Jeff Lowe is scum. The expired Walmart meat. Joe Exotic had a little bit of an agreement with Walmart that anytime they would be throwing out meat, that they would pick it up and they would use it to feed their tigers. They would use it to feed their staff. It was even in the pizza parlor that was on there. They were eating the expired meat the whole time. And when I say expired, Walmart has a policy, and I don't know if they still do, and I don't know if it's just out in Oklahoma, is that if anybody let's say you take meat from the meat counter and brought it to checkout and decide you didn't want it anymore, they would immediately have to discard it. It would go in the dumpster. Joe Exotic would come pick up this meat and then either feed his tigers with it,
I'd assume,
or feed his staff, or feed the customers that were coming to his zoo to visit.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that I'm leaving out, and I'm glad everybody is chiming in to just let us know, what I've missed. And like, he opened up a pizza parlor, and all the staff is loving this meat pizza. Here, they didn't know the whole time it was the expired meat pizza that they were eating.
Well, it's cooked. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh yeah, John Suggs on it again. Music. He had music videos. He put out DVDs and CDs of music videos of him with tigers and his husbands and everything like that. That turns out it was a band behind him that would lip sync, sort of like Double J, Jeff Jarrett, when it was Jesse James singing.
Belle Biv DeVoe?
No, Milli Vanilli. Belle Biv DeVoe was a great R&B band.
Well, one of those 80s bands.
So it's just a bunch of crazy stuff that just happens.
Aaron chimes in, EMT jacket. So is he? I think I've seen a picture of this. Him walking around in an EMT jacket and like tiger pants or something.
Beautiful. When the girl got her arm ripped off, he went and put on an EMT jacket.
Milli Vanilli, I'm wrong.
And was talking on the walkie-talkie to try to make everything look good, and went into the gift shop with the EMT jacket on, posing as an EMT officer or whatever they are. And
or an EMT.
Yeah. And said, just to let you know before you see it on the news or anything like that, somebody's arm got ripped off in the tire cage with the EMT jacket on, thinking he was an EMT. And his one husband did kill himself too, on site while working.
In a tiger cage?
No, not in the tiger cage. So the one husband was messing around with a gun, and they actually have this on camera. They don't have him killing himself on camera. They have him talking to somebody, and it's right on. Let's say it's on me, and you're on the other side of me. He was holding a gun, messing around with it, and the guy said, "Don't do that." And he goes, "There's no clip in it. This gun can't fire unless a clip is in it," and puts it to his head and pulls the trigger. And there was still one in the chamber.
Okay. I would have rather seen the dude get eaten by the tiger.
Well, I mean, there might be they reopened the case in Florida, so you never know. So and this Carol Baskin, how she met this husband that she eventually killed, was that she was walking a street in Tampa one night, and he had a fight with his wife, or she had a fight with her husband because she was married at the time too, and he kept on trying to get her to get into the car. And said, "Here, I have a gun. Get into the car. I need company. Point the gun at me, and if I do anything, you could shoot him. You could shoot me." And that's how she met her husband that eventually disappeared in 1997. But there's a story there that she was actually a prostitute at the time.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin was a prostitute, and that's how she met her husband that she eventually killed.
Okay. Listen, so I should take the time.
And I will say that it was a source from somebody that watches us and listens to us that told me about this. So if they feel like commenting on it, go right ahead. Everyone was going to do a polygraph test, but Carol, yeah, it's true.
Because she killed her husband and fed him to the tigers.
Because she killed her husband. Oh, and the reason why she probably never got caught is that her brother was a police officer, as well as her father worked on the sanctuary with her and was able just to get rid of everything.
It was Carol Baskins with the tiger in the library.
Sounds like a game of Clue. It absolutely does, Anthony. You were absolutely right.
It does sound like a game of Clue. Look, I know everybody's watching it because
Nicole, what was the meat grinder thing? I know I just said you saw that comment. What was that she put him in a meat grinder and then fed him to the tigers? That's right. You don't have to say anything now. Mm-hmm.
Why not just feed him to the tiger right away? Why do you have to grind the meat?
Well, you have to soften it. I mean, maybe tigers like tender meat sometimes.
But I did see, to tie this back into somewhat of sports, I did see the Gardner Minshew picture of him with a Jaguar. I guess it's this Joe Exotic dude. Joe Exotic sounds like a wrestler.
Well, Joe Exotic's been in prison since 2018 when he was arrested for murder for hire for wanting to kill Carol Baskin. That I think he's got to do 20-something years. And he actually didn't get really convicted because it was supposed to be 79. He got 22 years, but they figured out that he euthanized 5 tigers illegally.
So they got him on the tiger.
So that's what they basically, and he even says it. He goes, the story of murder for hire wouldn't stick because he gave money to
Tiger Woods, though, Will. Or Tiger Mask.
Supposedly he gave the money to a staff member that they can't prove that money exchanged, but it's, stories lined up. But they knew it wasn't going to stick, so they got him on the euthanization of 5 tigers, which he said, he goes, the tiger got sick, or a tiger can't do anything anymore, and there's nothing to treat it. What do you do? He goes, I kill, and he admits it. He admits it on prison camera that he did it, and that's what they had. In order to keep him in jail, this is what they had to do. Tiger
right.
King.
I might look into
freaking great.
What was the other one?
The other one was Love is Blind.
Uh-huh.
Love is Blind. Now,
is this about a blind boy and a bird?
No, pretty close. Yeah. You're close. You are close. So this is one that's been on Netflix since February. It is, and I didn't know this. Full disclaimer, did not know this when going in because I literally just been skipping the shit out of it every time I would log on to Netflix so I can get the Richie Rich. Jessica is the worst. She is the worst.
Who the hell's Jessica?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So anyway, Love is Blind, hosted by my boy, Nick Lachey.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Didn't know that. My wife was
yeah.
like, of course you want to, watch this. I didn't know. So we started watching it. What they do is they take, I believe it was 8 to 10 men and women. They put them in pods. All right. They have to communicate with each other, never seeing each other, just in a pod for about 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
They fall in love with each other. Don't know how we got to this part.
Is this like real life?
This is 100% real life. Probably a little bit of scripting in it.
No kidding.
So, and I saw John's comments, and yeah, he's kind of right there. And they fall in love. Don't know how you fall in love with somebody in 3 days, regardless of whether you see him or not, and getting to know your feelings. Don't know how that happens. All right, what's Anthony's? As I'm telling us, where everybody, James Woods' house starts playing Clue and
that's you
for Tiger Quit. Yeah, that is exactly right. So, and Aaron tried to apply for season 2 in Chicago. So, Aaron, let me ask you this:
Chicago's a great town.
Season 1 was in Atlanta. Do they all have to be from Atlanta? I didn't get that part of it. So anyway, they're in these pods. They fall in love with each other.
Do you know Chicago has the largest amount of Polacks outside of Poland?
Yep.
Good. And I'm a Polak. I'm allowed to say that.
So there you go. Gags, why don't you apply for that?
You should apply for it, Kyle. That would be awesome. That would live blog the shit out of that one.
So they put them in these pods. They fall in love. They ask each other to marry each other. Whatever. Which the only part I didn't like about it is I don't know what happened to the other. Like there was one in there that was a virgin. That was the only time I ever saw the guy.
And they killed the virgin off.
I guess so. Well, he didn't get picked. I wish, Nick, if you're out there, Vanessa, if you're out there, it's him and his wife host it. What happened to the other people? I want to know. All right. So anyway, they fall in love. They ask each other to marry. Then they get a chance to see each other. That's when they eventually see each other.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Abe Froman. So then they see each other. Then they whisk them away to Mexico. All right. So let's rewind this and let's recap. They've known each other for maybe 5 days, if that. Mm-hmm. They're already engaged. They're already going on a vacation. All right. They still are not allowed to look at their cell phones. They are not allowed to communicate with the outside world. It is just supposed to be them. So now we've went from 8, 10, or 20 people down to 12. Okay.
Did they kill off the other people?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, I don't know what happened to them. So I don't know what happened to them. All I know is you have these 6 couples now, these 12 people. They're in Mexico. This is when they're supposed to get to know each other. This is all, this is still the honeymoon phase. They're all banging, except for one couple.
Because there's a virgin.
Well, no, that virgin, he's gone. He's went back to wherever he came from. But now they're all banging. They finally saw each other, and let me say this is that The Bachelor is absolutely awful. I can't stand The Bachelor. What I liked about this show is that they weren't all 23-year-old kids. They were 25 or 24 through like 34. It was that age range, so it was nice to see actual normal people that have been there. I'm looking at, I can act like a virgin if you want. John Suggs. Don't confuse these comments are great right now, man. Nicole says Barnett's a dumbass. All right, so one of the dudes like 3 of the girls, and the 3 girls fell in love with him. One of them actually was in Mexico and tried to pull a robbery and steal it from his original girl, Amber. That was entertaining. That was Jessica. That's who now Jessica is with the memes of Carol Baskins on social media. So when you see them, you're going to know what's going on. Kyle's a stump. Poor Kyle. Kyle, are you on? So they go to Mexico. They're all banging. One couple, after day 2, they call it quits because. So
this is essentially like the real world.
Yeah, but a little bit better. It's on steroids. Okay. So in Mexico, the one couple calls it quits because he left out the fact that he actually had relationships with men and women prior to meeting her, and she got mad because he left out that major important thing before she fell in love with him. All right, so they're going. The whole time while in Mexico, this Jessica tried to steal Barnett away from his girl. This poor guy, Mark, who was with Jessica, asked him to marry her, whatever, thought everything was rainbows and sunshine. She was giving him every which way to get out of it. On top of, there was a 10-year age difference. And she had the biggest problem with that whatsoever. So Mexico's done.
Thank you, Dexter. I agree with you 100%.
There is nothing, but this is how it is now. Jessica is a Messica.
This is where we've come to as a society, that we're watching this kind of stuff on a regular basis and having.
Guys wants to watch a show just of me breaking down Netflix shows. Thank you. Poor Mark.
We can do that.
Poor Mark was a good dude. He was a good dude. Has a kind heart, and this girl just dragged him through and played with him the whole time. All right, Mexico's done. They all move into the same apartment complex in Atlanta. All right. They're all there, and this is like
what kind of cabinetry they have?
Oh, they had it was nice. It was a nice complex, man.
This is important stuff here. Someone should go sell them.
So while they're there, this is when the arguments start, where they're fighting over everything. There's this one dude with Damian and Giannina.
You got to have sports, Kyle.
Yeah. They constantly butt heads. That's all like very physical driven. There's a white guy and a black girl. She's concerned because her dad, she never brought anybody home to her dad, let alone he's white. So that's a problem there. So switching gears, and it's getting canceled. So they're in this apartment complex for what? For another week or so. They're all still together. They're all starting to have doubts. The final step after about 4.5 weeks of being with each other is whether or not they're going to get married. Okay. So now we're down to 5 couples, because remember, one left Mexico. Cameron and Lauren. Yeah. It's just easier to say whatever. And I remember their names though. First couple is that Damian and Giannina. The girl says yes, she would marry him. The guy says no at the altar. She freaks the frig out. She's had enough. She's like, I can't believe you, whatever. They are still dating right now. They eventually got back together. They're still dating. Barnett and his girl, Amber, they get married. Who else? Jessica and Mark, poor Mark. She said no to him. She was going to say no the whole time. I felt bad for this guy. Epstein didn't hang himself. So, and then the black girl and the white guy, they eventually married. The dad loves the dude now. They're still married. It's been a year. They're still married. They just had the reunion. The reunion was bad. The other 10 episodes were good. When am I getting on the show? Kyle wants to come on the show.
Kyle was supposed to be on the show for March Madness, which got canceled. So we'll get you on there.
So this was a great
blew him off.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck him.
Yeah. This was a great mindless show. It was definitely one that
we got someone on.
Somebody on Twitch. What's up, man? This was one that I got sucked into that I had no intentions of watching other than seeing Nick Lachey just introduce the show and whatever. And I got sucked in.
So you, just let me understand this correct. You wanted to watch the show for Nick Lachey.
I didn't know he was the host. Don't know your names, but the guy on the left, don't tell me that's what a Washington Fusky helmet hanging.
No, hold on.
No, it's not.
Hold on. This is a stolen Cherry Hill West helmet from 19. Well,
that just rips off the Huskies helmet, probably.
It rips off the. I can't even hang it back up. It rips off the Wisconsin Badgers.
So season 2 is going to be in Chicago. All right, that's cool. I'm in. Sign me up. Not to the show, but to watch it, of course.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're watching, right?
This is what we're watching right now. There is no sports on.
I watched WrestleMania 3.
Did you?
Yes.
All right, so that brings us into our next subject. There's no sports on right now.
Correct.
So
no live sports, yeah.
No live sports. So what exactly are you watching? You said WrestleMania, so something else.
Yeah. Well, no. So I've been watching. ESPN has had WrestleManias on. I've watched those.
Which we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that.
Yeah, no. Like I have.
Are you watching anything sports whatsoever?
No, not really. Paw Patrol. This is
Paw
true.
Patrol.
Patrol. Yeah, no, I haven't been watching much of sports at all. There's nothing for me to. Some of the NFL Network stuff. One of those.
So I need suggestions on what to watch. I need something mindless out there. So anybody that's watching right now, my wife and I need something mindless, keeping it light. Not sports, because I know, she's not gonna be in it the whole time. The MJ series, I wanted to bring out Michael Jordan series. It was supposed to be out in the summer. They're moving up. It's going to start April 19th. It's a documentary.
I am watching Jersey Shore reruns, though, as I am trying to get myself caught up on Jersey Shore. That is on the DVR. Absolutely.
So, all right. So, Nicole, I can't do the R. Kelly. It's actually really boring.
Casey chimes in, Zebra Gamer. I watch a lot of Zebra Gamer. I've been watching a lot of YouTube with the kids.
What's Zebra Gamer?
Oh, dude, you gotta check it out. It's like Nintendo Power, but some dude took Nintendo Power and started doing it himself and put it on YouTube.
So, a couple of things I saw. Lizzie says the Goldbergs. I can't watch anything Goldbergs after season 1. It's just not good.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's
a couple episodes season 2.
You're watching some asshole woman feed people to tigers, and you can't watch the Goldbergs.
Yes, I just said Goldbergs is good.
You just said not after season 1.
Not after season 1.
This is our life. You realize that Goldbergs is everything we grew up with.
All American is decent. Yeah, I heard All American is decent, but the problem All American, it's trending number 3 on Netflix right now. 2010 NLCS Roy No Header. We were both at that game.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
I'm not watching it.
Roy Halladay has become like Owen Hart to me. I can't watch Owen Hart wrestling matches. I have a really, really hard time watching Roy Halladay pitch. It's very odd. I don't know why.
Yeah, the Jordan documentary is going to be good because it's all the behind the scenes stuff. So you're going to see Dennis Rodman.
What is it? What's the Jordan documentary?
It's basically just Jordan. It's him and the Chicago Bulls. Like the one thing is the one in the preview. There's a 1-minute trailer on ESPN right now that says you can't mention Michael Jordan without saying Scottie Pippen. It's him saying that. And it's giving him props for it, which I like. Nicole says the Defiant Ones. I think that's what she's saying. Again, for sure. Yeah, we've watched that over and over again. This Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre story on HBO.
I've tried to move away from sports. It's weird because dude, you know
what I'm watching right now? I can't stand this guy, but we watch it every night before we go to bed. We're watching friggin' the One Bite reviews on YouTube for the pizza. I'm not even going to say his name because he's a tool bag. But the pizza reviews are good because it's like, oh, let's see where we can go next. I've watched the only sports I've watched is I've gone down the rabbit hole of just watching different highlight clips of like the 2008 Phillies when they're like 10-minute clips, watching all that. I watched hockey fights clips, but I think I should get into the Eagles one on Amazon, the one that we talked about how they never promoted.
I have to get into that. You're talking about shows to binge. That's definitely a show worth binging. It's something that I'm going to have to look at. I have watched. I shouldn't say I haven't watched sports. The NFL stuff is fantastic. The America's Game and all that kind of
thing. Nicole said Schitt's Creek. We watched that. We're caught up on that. But might have to binge watch again. I'm not saying the guy's last name for the pizza reviews. He's a tool. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I hear that all the time. I have to get into that.
Oh, that's a good question.
Should the Eagles show? All right. Well, what do you think? I think absolutely not. He is one hit away before ending his career.
Here's the problem. And here
we play New Orleans. Does the Eagles play New Orleans this year?
If they
do, you definitely can't trade for him because he's going to pee his pants in pregame.
Here's the problem. They're doing exactly what they did to McNabb to Carson Wentz. They're not giving a dude weapons. If you can get Cooks for a good deal, I absolutely do it. I do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, Dan says not for a second, but for a 4th round. Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Why not? What's his contract like? Anybody know?
I don't know.
What's the deal with the dude in Jacksonville, man?
What's the deal with airline peanuts? Sorry.
What's the deal with lampshades?
Yeah, oh, geez. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Yannick Okadugie.
Yannick
I butchered his
Ngakwe.
name, sorry.
Yes. He is he has to be, it's a trade, and he is either trolling the Eagles and Eagles fans, or he wants to come here. One of the two.
At some point, though, doesn't the Players Association say stop doing that shit? I just got mesmerized by your bald head.
I know. I mean, listen, they need entertainment. There's no live sports on TV. They need entertainment.
You can always watch Love is Blind, or you can watch Tiger King.
Here we go. Here we go. John checks in. 21. Oh, that is expensive.
Base salary of $8 million, roster bonus of $4 million. Yep, don't want it. Done. Out. He's he's one hit away from being out. Done.
Look, I think they need weapons. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that if they want to make that move.
Do you know how big Tuscany is? See, here. Let's watch On Point on Crackle. What's that?
I don't even know what the frick that is. What is that?
You are cursing a lot tonight, my friend.
Hold on a second. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
No problem. So, since everybody, we appreciate all the comments tonight. In order to keep doing these comments, and we only have one segment left, you have to be in the Section 247 show feed, which is either on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Please still like and share, but in order for us to see you comment, you have to be in our show's feed. So, you said, hope D-Jax is healthy. So, Deshaun Jackson, that's almost like getting a free agent signee because he only played 2 games last year. So hopefully that works. I want to know what On Point on Crackle is. I don't want to look it up. I've never seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I always hear about how good it is. I've never seen an episode. So yeah, maybe that's one I will look up. That's actually one my wife will probably enjoy too. Mommy's going to be pissed. You're cursing a lot tonight, Michael.
Yeah, nice segue for the plug. What are we plugging? Oh, Steve Weiser. Gotcha.
So, speaking of Steve Weiser, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you were on a Twitter rampage this weekend about WrestleMania should be, postponed, canceled, whatever. And I know it's because ESPN is showing the reruns of the old WrestleManias. Why do you think it should be canceled? Because I know why it shouldn't be. And Zach, we are friends, man. I'll watch it. It's a good. It's something I have to watch, so I will watch it. I'll check it out.
So it goes back to that watching it at ESPN. I think I watched WrestleMania 30, some of it. I watched some of WrestleMania 32, and in each scenario, you have 70,000, 100,000. I watched WrestleMania 3, 93,176 people in the Silver Dome, and you have all this energy, and the workers are. They are going out there and doing their thing, and it's WrestleMania. It's the Super Bowl. This would be like playing the Super Bowl at Cherry Hill High School West with nobody there. You just don't do it. You need the pomp and circumstance. You need the pageantry. What's the Rose Bowl? Could you imagine no one being at the Rose Bowl? Then it's nothing. It's just a football game. This is. I know the argument's going to be 93-173. I was close though. This is you just need this. You don't need wrestling. You don't need WrestleMania during this time. You need WrestleMania as it's meant to be. If that means pushing it back, push it back. Simple as that.
And I understand your argument. John, Eagles can move on. They already moved on from Nelson Aguilar, signed with the Raiders. My wife heard sports and left. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. I understand your argument and I get it, but the problem is that wrestling didn't stop. If you were going to postpone WrestleMania, the storylines are already in place probably through August on who's being called up. Also, too,
gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? But that's you know how methodical McMahon is.
That's the problem. I agree with Will. The crowd
also too. You kept it going.
See it, Dan.
You kept it going from day one, from after the last Raw that was on with an audience. And the thing is, you have contracts that expire. You have contracts that are coming due. So that's the problem. You had to stop it then and there. And your pay-per-view that you were at Hell in a Cell, after that, it had to be done. Oh, yeah. But it had to been done. Elimination Chamber, sorry. Then, because these contracts, these people depend on it. You know, a lot of them, they're big incentives. I mean, look, Goldberg's probably going to get what, $6 million just to go in WrestleMania? You know,
I'm sure he is, but nobody is there to see it. Like Will said it, the crowd makes it, right? If you go back and you look at these things, Zach chimes in, is Rock versus Austin the best rivalry ever? We can talk about that in a second. You know, go back to WrestleMania 18.
Hey, Dan, thanks for coming out tonight, man. Appreciate it. I'm going to check out the schemes. I'm sorry, dude.
No, I just think that the crowd, the fans deserve it. The wrestlers deserve it. These guys bust their ass for their WrestleMania moments. And what's it going to happen in front of two dudes and a camera? I could go film that in my backyard.
Yeah. I mean, look, John Sykes says, well, NASCAR race each other on Xbox. Now the NBA is doing one, or wrestling is doing two. They can't because that game is unplayable. That's why. Taker should retire years ago. I agree with you 100% on that. But hey, look, I agree. It's very hard. It's a crowd-oriented business. I always go back to his Roman Reigns interview that he had the first time on SmackDown on that Friday night when he walked out thinking he was in character and realized there was nobody there. And I give him all the credit in the world for backing out for it. It's not safe for him. I don't think it's right that he's getting death threats or he's being called a coward or a pussy and all that stuff.
Dude.
I mean, you know,
it's the internet wrestling community because they're a bunch of idiots. That's why.
So, you know, I agree with you, but I also understand why they're still going forward with it. They're at a point of no return. They have to do it. Now, with that being said, you might see them take a break after WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a month break after WrestleMania with all that said and done. I wouldn't put it past the McMahon family to say, hey, look, WrestleMania on that Monday saying WrestleMania, we're done for a little bit.
Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant. Stone Cold Steve Austin stuns Shawn Michaels. You know, Hulk Hogan and The Rock and Austin, all these things, right? And the crowd, and here you are. I mean, this is an arrogance of an old man who is out of touch with what's going on. And that's why they are airing WrestleMania, because Vince McMahon thinks that he knows what's going on and he has to do it. He's an arrogant old bastard. And until he steps aside, the company is just going in the tank.
Do you think Triple H would have called it off? Or, I mean, look what Triple H is doing. He's filtering out the NXTs.
Anything off, you can move it back. You can just move it back.
Well, I mean, what Triple H has done, he's took the takeover card that was the night before WrestleMania, and he's spread it out through the last, NXT on Wednesdays.
John chimes in here. Dana White still wants UFC fights to happen. Khabib can't leave Russia. I keep saying Khabib, whatever. Here's the thing. To me, maybe it's the old Ultimate Fighter fan in me. I don't have a problem with the UFC fighting in front of nobody. Yes, I get the fan thing there too, but there's just something about that. The fight, right? The fight. That's two dudes going into a cage and fighting. Wrestling is scripted entertainment. You need people. You do.
I agree with it, but I just think they reached a point of no return. The minute they walked out for that Raw, that Monday after the Elimination Chamber, point of no return.
No, I agree with you completely. I just think at this juncture,
look, he still had the XFL playing.
Right. You still have the opportunity. It's in the can right now, right? It's in the can. It hasn't aired. It technically doesn't exist. You're shoving it down people's throats that this is the biggest WrestleMania of all time. 2 nights. We need 2 nights for this WrestleMania that nobody is there to see.
Okay, here's a little question for you here. I liked Aaron's quote: "Arrogant old bastard." Michael talking to himself every morning in the mirror
as I rub my bald head
for good luck. Do you think these matches has already taken place?
They have. They filmed them last week. They filmed a whole bunch of content because they're going to get shut down if they have not already been shut down in Central Florida.
But so Reigns backed out of WrestleMania. If that was the case, why wouldn't they just film his match and then that's it?
Because he's smart enough to say, I don't want to be around people. I'm an immunocompromised individual, and people like me are dying.
It's either that or he backed out a while ago.
He's smart about it.
I'm not blaming him for backing out. He should have backed out that Friday night when they said, how are you handling this knowing that you have a compromised immune system? He should have said, all right, see you. Peace. Right then and there.
Look at all the WrestleMania moments, right? WWE is real big on WrestleMania moments. They posted a video on their own YouTube about WrestleMania entrance, opening segments. That was fantastic. And then you got nothing. You have nothing. Yeah. I could have a bigger crowd. I could do WrestleMania in the backyard. I got posts and ropes. I'll go put it in the backyard. I got it. You got
boats and hose? What?
Yeah, I got a ladder. I got a belt.
I'm gonna watch Step Brothers tonight before I fall asleep. That's what I'm
not a fan.
I don't like Will Ferrell, but I do like that movie.
Yeah,
like that and Ricky Bobby, and that's it.
I'll watch some Godzilla movies.
I do like some kicking and screaming though. Don't let Mike Dick in it when you kick it to the Italians.
John Trent's back in. Thoughts on the last 5 WrestleManias? Great, no good, average, suck. I think they need to post.
Well, so the last 5 have been the outdoor ones, the ones that started in Giant Stadium. I thought the Giant Stadium one was good.
They're all too long. I mean, they're
too long. That's a given.
I'm a 4-hour WrestleMania kind of guy, and
Dallas one wasn't bad. I didn't like last year's all that much.
Yeah, I fell asleep. So.
Well, yeah, I had to watch it the next day. Yeah, kicking and screaming. It's because Dicka and Duval. Yeah, that is a good part. Stepbrother's Gold Lipinski, you suck.
Okay, so Will and I were going back and forth on why the WrestleMania 1 entrance was wrong, and that's why they did use Easy Rider. They can't because you can't license the music now.
Well, that's it. I mean, even when I was watching Nick and Jessica last week with my wife, let's bring that up again. The music that they had, like MTV has, even like when you watch The Hills, when you watch it back on demand, it's not the same music. It's all this like instrumental crap.
It's like watching an ECW pay-per-view and not being able to understand, man.
Right. Exactly.
This beer is frozen.
I think we're done for the night, bro.
Okay. We have nothing else to talk about. NFL, real quick. NFL is going to continue on with their season as planned. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's all it is right now is just it's all virtual anyway. Let's
do it. Where can people find us coming up? So for those of us who are on here and they're like, hey, we like the wrestling talk, we'll post it, but where are we going to be?
Yeah, Saturday we'll a work in progress. It's going to be dropping
iPod.
iPod. Yeah, it's going to be dropping a WrestleMania where we're going to watch different WrestleManias. Well, not us. We're watching a match along with other guests that are watching other WrestleMania matches, and we're going to give our own little commentary on it. It's not like hardcore wrestling. It's all jokes. It is going to be me pounding 12 beers while we're watching it and making fun of everything going on.
NCAA football start on time. I think they do. I think
everything starts on time next season.
Yeah, I think next season. So you think 2020 is canceled?
Oh yeah. I mean, so Toronto tonight said no events will happen in Toronto until June 30th.
That's hockey. I don't give a shit about hockey. Football. Well, I do give a shit about hockey, but it's over.
Toronto Raptors play in Toronto, my friend. So NBA is not going to play either.
We're done. We're done with hockey in the NBA. I'm just assuming that we're done. And
new season of Hills was bleh.
The Hills. Who gives a shit about The Hills? Will chimes in here. You need to watch The Dark Side of the Ring. Have you watched this yet? I've heard great things about it.
No. I was watching The Hills, as you can see.
Yeah, we are going to talk about it. Will, and yes, you can come in. And I will check out Tiger King, King Tiger, Tiger Mask 5, all those guys. We'll catch you next week. And you can find us on social media at SEC247 Show. Thank you for the night. I got to go to the bathroom. We'll talk to you later.
Good night, all you cool cats and kittens.